Hello, pilots, and welcome back to another X-Wing flight video brought to you by Out of Art Gaming. As always, my name is Phil, and today we actually have something a little bit different for you. We have an 8-player small ship Aces High matchup for you. So a lot's going to be going on here, and hopefully myself and my co-commentator
James, I'm back again. This time for this very different sort of game.
Yeah, so hopefully myself and James will be able to keep on top of everything that's going on.
There's going to be a lot. We will miss stuff.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
If we do miss stuff, guys, the points are all on the side, so hopefully you can keep a track of them. But I just want to preface saying this was an absolutely wicked time that we all had playing this. It was just the most fun. And if you could hear what was happening around the table, it was just hilarious. Like, everyone was having a great time, regardless of how well or how badly they were doing. So it was good fun. But I think what we're going to do, before we crack into what ships we have, just a quick run through for those of you that have never played Aces High before, how the game kind of works. I mean, James, have you actually had a chance to play Aces High yet?
I've not seen an Aces High game. I've not played in an Aces High game.
I'll tell you what, this is one of the best additions they had to 2.0 when they brought in the...
I forgot that those little
best.
hyperspace tokens were a thing.
Yeah, most people just chuck them in a box and forget about them.
They are in a box and forgotten about. You are absolutely right. So what is the setup here?
So the basic setup is each player was allowed 50 points to spend on one single small base ship. So that meant you're not going to see any Fen Raos, you're not going to see any Darth Vaders. I was a little bit worried that 50 points wasn't going to be enough, but as you can see, we've got some interesting builds here, including an I6 in there, so it is possible.
And no duplicates.
No duplicates, which again is actually quite nice. We have every faction represented except Scum, which again is surprising because they're normally the biggest faction that comes to everything.
It might come down to that their better small ship pilots are just more expensive.
Yeah, pretty much. So, as I say, each pilot gets 50 points to spend however they want on a small base ship. For the setup of the game, we have the 4 hyperspace markers, as James has pointed out, and they are positioned around the board. Now, if your ship does get destroyed, you get to come back on one of those hyperspace markers, and as is most likely going to happen later on, when that happens, we'll explain how that works. For setup, it's the same setup. You start one away from the board edge, but you can start on any board edge, but you must be at least 2 away from any other ship on the table at the start.
Okay, so I mean, it's kind of worked out that everyone's kind of started sort of really spread out here, but you could potentially like all group up closer to one side of the board.
Yeah, I mean, you can't quite see it, but down in the bottom right-hand corner behind the employment logo, there is actually a sneaky little RZ-1A ring as well. So there are quite a few down in this bottom right-hand corner. But yeah, you can spread out quite a bit. It's quite nice. It's quite varied as the way you can be. And it just allows for some really interesting start positions and some quite quick engagements as well are possible.
Yeah, because like, even like straight away, we're into combat. Like the hidden A-wing is now behind whatever. Who is that? Is that an interceptor?
The TIE Interceptor in the bottom.
Oh, that's you, isn't it?
That's my one. Yep, that's my...
You're already being flanked.
Already, as is standard. But yeah, so really, really quick start to the games normally here. Now, the way scoring works in this, if you do the first point of damage on a ship, you get 1 point. And that goes on your ship, that goes on your pilot card. So you get that 1 point. Should you destroy a ship, you get an additional 2 points, and you also get a point that goes with your ship on the board, which is called a bounty token.
Okay.
This is where it gets a bit complicated. The bounty tokens don't get scored until the very end of the game. Now, should you kill a ship that has a bounty token, not only do you get the 2 points, but you then also get that bounty token.
So if one person really starts to clean up the board, they become a big target for everyone else.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the game ends when the first player reaches 6 points on their ship card, so the ones that they have by them. And once you hit 6 points, you finish the round off, and then you add all the bounty tokens that are actually with your ship at that point.
So potentially you could be about to get the killing blow, but you won't have enough bounty points to win, so you hold off on the shot, maybe? I don't know. That'd be
there is a potential for that. Or it could be that you have to take that shot to stop someone else from maybe scoring more than you. It's really interesting. To be honest, I don't think anyone holds back normally.
Oh no, I can't imagine anyone would, especially with all of these ships on the board.
I mean, it was just crazy.
How did you determine obstacles? Was it just one per player? Or no?
To be honest, myself and Ben just set the table up. So we just placed the obstacles in a random order. We had 2 debris, 2 gas, and 2 asteroids. This is before the update to debris, so they will give the free evade essentially.
The gas clouds.
The gas clouds, yes.
And this is also pre random initiative on red dice. I think you said just before we start recording, you rolled just a d6 to choose.
Yeah. So this technically was pre-RPO. In fact, RPO was announced about 20 minutes before we started. So we decided, we're just going to carry on as normal. And what we did for the initiative clash is to determine that the guys who were initiative 4 and initiative 3 rolled a d6, and whoever got the highest, middle, and lowest, we went in that order.
Okay, that seems reasonable.
We thought it was the fairest way of doing it. But I suppose we're actually a little bit of time in it. We haven't even gone through the ships yet. So
there's a lot to explain. It's a game mode that isn't seen a lot. Hopefully we'll see a lot more because it looks really fun.
Oh, it was.
Frankly, you've
fun.
Not stopped going on about it since this game was recorded.
True. And in fact, we have just seen the first point there from Ben with his RZ2 taking some damage off of Connor. But let's go through those ships whilst they're going. So, James, did you want to take down the left-hand side and I'll do the right-hand side?
So we have Quinn with Sabine Wren in the Rebel attack shuttle with Debris Gambit and Neon Num crew. We've also got Madbots with Wedge Antilles in the Rebel A-Wing with Outmaneuver, Predator, and homing missiles. We've got Phil, who's that? With Turf Finir with Predator and Afterburners, and he's in the TIE Interceptor. And then running off the left side, we've got Wes with General Grievous in the Soulless One, which is the Bailabab, something like that?
The Belbalub.
Belbalub, yeah, that's the one. It's General Grievous' ship.
It is General Grievous. And in fact...
What have we got listed on the right side?
So on the right side, just catching up on the shooting, we have just had General Grievous taking a pot shot at Ben with ZZ. But going through the list, we have Jamie with the Whirlwind TIE Whisper with Daredevil, Fanatical, and the Enhanced Jamming Suite. We've got Rich running the TIE FO with Midnight. He's running Fanatical, Pattern Analyzer, and Hull Upgrade. So giving it a bit more beef there. We've got Ben, who's got the ZC Tlo in the RZ2 A-Wing with Heroic, obviously, Elusive, and those very dangerous proton rockets. And rounding off the list with more upgrades than anybody else could fit on there, we have Connor with R2D2 in the BTLB Republic Y-Wing with Tier-Fon Belly Run, Dorsal Turret, Clone Commander Cody, C-3PO, Concussion Bombs, and Delayed Fuses.
I mean, I know it's like ace is high, but that R2D2 is low initiative, but can do just a lot of things.
Oh, R2D2 is incredibly dangerous.
Maybe just having a turret in this situation is amazing. It gives you so many more options to shoot at people.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's got everything.
And
he's got a turret. He's got
could be
bombs.
Really good here.
Yeah, and then you combine that with having C-3PO, R2D2's inbuilt ability. there's a lot of utility for 50 points there. I mean, that's what you've got to remember. These are just 50-point ships. So if ever you're running a game and you think, oh, I've got 50 points spare. Oh, that is good.
That was Sabine, I think, into...
That was Sabine into Turfanier. There's the focus for the evade. So
for now,
very fortunate there.
It's interesting that there seems to be a lot of sort of the more maneuverable aces here. Like, I would have thought that with so many ships on the board, it would be much more difficult to get out of arcs. And that you'd want something like R2-D2 with a lot of health and a lot of options.
I think it's really surprising because not only will you want to be trying to get people in arc and staying out of other people's arcs, but everyone else is going to be doing the same thing. So it's just a massive cluster. What is quite good about this, though, is that even if your ship goes down, you're not out. You can come back and you can steal the win from that. It's not unheard of.
Also, you get extra points for game revenge.
I mean, you get pride points.
Potentially. Well, no, because if they've killed you, they get the bounty tokens, and if you then kill them in revenge, you'll get those tokens, right?
Yeah, if you manage to get the bounty back, definitely. So, having a quick look at the end of the first round there, we can see that Ben and Connor have both managed to score a point off of each other. Unsurprising when you've got range 1 shots into each other there. But there's a lot of health on that R2-D2, and that's a concussion bomb going down. I mean, that's a great place to drop a bomb, really.
I mean, what was he? He's got one charge left now.
2 charges left. Concussion bomb comes with 3.
Oh, so that's already gone down to 2.
And the concussion bomb is the super fun bomb that once you drop, you just can't stop.
Oh, it's the
Yeah, until if you've got an inactive charge on there, you need to keep spitting those out. So he's got himself lined up quite nicely because he could potentially hit ZZ if Ben has forgotten about it, but also he could be lining something up for Grievous as well.
Yeah, on the next turn or maybe the one after. I'm curious to see what the first order ships are going to do.
Yeah, I mean...
okay.
I mean, the Time Whisper's got that rear arc on it at the moment. Its arc indicator is pointing back, so it has a forward and back arc at the moment. Admittedly, the forward is just in the bullseye, but with that Daredevil to do those one hard boosts, it's going to be quite good and quite maneuverable.
It's a different way to approach combat, though. Because it's not like, I can focus fire on this person, I can rely on the other ships. You are on your own, and potentially there's 7 other ships out to get you.
Yeah, it very much gets like that, especially when you get in close. I mean, you look over where the Y-Wing is, you've got Grievous and ZZ there, and it's almost, do they want to concentrate there? And right now, again, Sabine is in a bit of an interceptor sandwich at the moment. So that could be, again, quite painful for Sabine. But let's see.
There's...
Looks like I've elected to ignore that range 1 there. Interceptors are good, but they don't like to joust because we have no shields.
Yeah, maybe invest in some.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's expensive points-wise, and I'd prefer to have afterburners because it's way more fun.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and again, repositioning for it to come back in. But what's also quite interesting about this is that sometimes you might not focus fire on a ship because you might have 2 ships in front of you and see that one is still full health and think, well, if I do 1 damage there, I get a point. As opposed to, if I weaken this one down.
Yes. Because of how the points work, yeah.
Because at the
moment...
guess
that benefits having ships on the board longer.
Yeah.
It encourages you to go for those healthy ships rather than the ones that are like middle of their health.
And once everyone's started to go down, that's when you try and find who's got the least evade dice, who's in the worst position, who's got a crit on them. I mean, Connor's in a great position, being initiative 2 with a turret. If he's got that turret in the right position, he can just go, oh, I'll take that shot then, shall I? Oh, cheeky bump there from Grievous.
There's also quite a few like missiles and rockets.
Yeah, so we've got homing missiles, proton rockets on there. Proton rockets are really scary. I mean, if they come off well, that's going to be quite painful.
Yeah. And it's on Zizi, who's probably the best resistance A-wing pilot.
Yeah.
Especially in a situation like this, like getting that token back when you almost guaranteed to be shot at multiple times in at least one turn is great.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, can we just talk about the RZ-1 A-wing a second? I mean, who is rude enough to not only have Wedge Antilles, but Wedge Antilles with outmaneuver? I mean, that's doubling down on.
He's only got 2 attack dice, though. He's got to lower their defenses.
Yeah, but that's just doubling down on. I don't know. Wedge Antilles with outmaneuver is just it's something dirty about it. Maybe it's because he's an Imperial defector.
It's amazing, but it is also like doubling down on the same ability.
Yeah.
Although I guess with this situation, like, everyone's bringing small base ships. There's not going to be any like Falcons or Ghosts that already have like 0 to 1 agility, other than the Y-wing. So you can probably benefit from it quite well.
Yeah, I mean, in this situation, you would.
So many ships on the board, you're probably going to catch someone facing the wrong way. I kind of like it for this.
I mean, yeah, for this, I like it. I mean, it is really good in this situation. Oh, that's a good shot from Rich there into Grievous. That's Midnight into Grievous.
What do you think about Richard's choice to bring Midnight as an initiative 6? Oh, those green dice, though.
Yeah, these green dice have been really good. Having an initiative 6 is interesting. It gives you the opportunity to try and get that first point if you're in the right place. I mean, the fact that you can get an initiative 6 in there is impressive in itself.
Yeah, for 50 points, and with a few upgrades as well.
Yeah, good upgrades on there as well. So Fanatical, Pattern Analyzer, and Hull upgrade. Oh, that's not a great...
Oh.
That's some bad evades there from...
Who was that?
Wedge. And that's Ben picking up his 2nd points there. He's just going around and plinking some armor for it.
I mean, it's a tactic, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
rack up those points early.
It's better than sticking there whilst you've got like a Y-wing just hammering down on you.
So did you have like a notepad by the table just keeping track of these points, or?
Yes. I had a notepad keeping track of... So the notepad actually had columns with their names at the top, the number, like what initiative order they were going in so that we could remember it, and then just tracking the points as we were going down. Partly for the game, I know they've obviously got it in front of them, but partly for me when it came to actually putting this video together.
That's fair.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. This was just... We all had so much fun playing this, and it's quite a good job. It was actually quite quiet in Toyman because we probably would have got quite a few grumbles because we were very loud while we were playing this. Imagine being in a sports bar while the local team is playing. That's how loud we were.
I think Wedge just took a shot onto Sabine.
Yep. And Sabine with her debris gambit evade there.
Yeah.
Sabine is an interesting choice. Obviously, having that reposition when you reveal your dial and then the debris gambit, it's quite nice.
She's got a really good ability, but the low initiative can often like make you sort of look and go, yeah, maybe I'll take someone else. But in this, I think it's a good choice, especially like Knee and Numb to help clear the stress.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like Neonum's just a really good crew card.
Yeah,
To be honest.
he's fantastic.
Kind of wish there was a more crew like that for other factions. Not only that some of the ships I fly actually could have crew on them.
Yeah, I mean the only other thing like him is what the R2 Astromech and in a way Kanan crew.
Yeah.
There might be a few others I'm forgetting, but those are the ones that spring to mind.
There's Jamie scoring some points off of Quinn there, getting that shield down. Finally wearing him down there. So it looks like we're moving on. Now it's R2 is out of range. So just quickly, guys, obviously while we're speeding through the planning stage here, don't forget, if you do like what we're doing here at Out of Arc Gaming, you can support us on Patreon. The link is in the description below. You can support us for as little as £2 a month, and any support you wish to throw away is greatly appreciated.
How did you find the planning stage for this? Oh, there's the second of the concussion bombs getting dropped.
As in on a personal level or as in overall?
A bit of both. Like everyone's planning just one ship, so you think, oh, that probably speeds up the process, but then there's kind of more to think about, so it probably just works out about the same, I guess.
So yeah, it is quite interesting. I tend to, when I was doing it, I tend to look at what was in like the immediate vicinity of my ship. Obviously, where I'm flying Turfineer, right there, I've got to think, right, what's the Whisper going to do? What's Sabine going to do? And what are those two A-Wings?
Yeah, you're not caring about Grievous, R2, or Midnight at the moment.
Yeah, at that point, I kind of just ignored them because they're not going to really come into play. So it was a case of, right, what can I do? Because I was looking at going, right, I've got Wedge coming up behind me. I don't want to be in his arc because of his ability. So I think I need to get round quick enough to be able to get some shots whilst trying to avoid being shot. But I also knew that in a way, Sabine and Whirlwind there were just going to be probably soaking up shots instead of me. So
yeah, because she'd be the closer target and easier to hit, really. Because although you get a point for landing the first hit, an interceptor at range 3, maybe behind that debris, which you've gone behind.
Yeah.
You know, how many green dice is that? 5?
At that point, it would be 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
And not only that, I have like Turfinier's got a great ability that once he's taken a shot, he can then reposition even more stressed. So I could just then go, I've taken a shot, I'm going to barrel roll now, or I'm going to boost. It's a great ability. And my activation for shooting in that I4 step was not actually too bad. I believe Wedge... actually, I was at the back of the I4 step, so it was terrible. Not going to lie.
Oh.
So I got that the wrong way around. So it goes Ben, Wes, then me. So it's an interesting one, yeah. But I mean, to be honest, it didn't take that long to go through that step because again, it is just one ship, and you kind of just have to go decisive and be like, I'm just going to do it. You just got to do it. So I think it was more difficult to choose who to shoot rather than where to fly.
Yeah, I guess that makes more sense. Because like you don't know exactly where they're going to go. There's a decent amount of open space on the board, despite there being so many ships. Because no one's trying to fly in formation at all. Yeah.
And although the board looks quite chaotic with those hyperspace markers, and I'll tell you what, the amount of times we sort of went to measure it up and went, no, it's not obstructed, that's a hyperspace marker.
I've already done this in the video when you flew straight towards, was it number 3 near the middle? I was like, oh no, he's flown onto it. No, never mind.
Yeah. So that in itself was quite interesting. But yeah, I mean, it was there was just something quite freeing about only having one ship and not going, I've lost everything else at this point. It just being that one ship. And again, just seeing what the other guys were bringing to the table for this. I mean, immediately after this, and that video will be coming up in a few weeks, we actually did a 75-point medium-based version of this, which was, again, utter carnage.
Yeah,
So
with medium
funny.
bases, that's a lot more space on the board being taken up.
Yeah, I mean, we did joke that we might try and do large base, but I'm not sure how feasible that would be. Because again, although there's a lot less evades
You
there.
may have to lower the number of players.
Yeah,
maybe?
if I was to do that, I'd probably say no more than 6. I mean, as it was, this game actually took us nearly 2 hours to play.
I mean, there's just a lot of stuff to get through, isn't it?
Yeah. But it was 2 hours well spent. It was definitely a great Wednesday evening for us all. Oh, that's an interesting move there from Midnight.
Getting in close.
Yeah.
But Connor's R2D2 has already lost health, correct?
Yeah, Connor's R2D2
so even
has
if
lost
Midnight does a lot of damage, won't actually get anything from it.
No, and runs the risk of actually giving points away. But he has just locked R2, which is really quite good for Midnight, because while you defend or perform an attack, if you have a lock on the enemy ship, that ship's dice cannot be modified. So those calculates mean nothing.
I've also just realized that in this setup, Fanatical is amazing.
Oh yeah, because you're almost guaranteed for it to trigger quite early.
I've lost the shields. Oh, what a shame.
Oh, that's a nice big 3 hits there.
That's good.
And Connor missing the dice tray. Oh, and he can't use the calculate. So that is pretty good. Now, I mean, the Republic Y-Wing also has a little bit of extra defense in there with its hull plating.
Yeah.
So until it actually suffers a crit, crits are nullified. So you'd nullify the first crit rolled. So you'd have to get 2 through to actually start that crit train. And that looks like Ben sweeping up some more points there, taking the shields down on Whirlwind.
Okay.
Ben is just storming into the lead there.
Zizzy's just zooming around, taking off damage each combat.
Pretty much, yeah.
So far, I think.
Ben he's done really well. He's just absolutely annihilating.
But now, after this round, potentially people are going, they got a lot of points.
Yeah.
And they've not got a lot of health as an A-Wing.
Yeah, it's going to be a case of, right, now let's start taking him out a little bit.
I'm anticipating like that sort of Mario Party attitude of they're winning. Don't worry about that guy. They're winning.
Yeah. You use the blue shell.
Yeah. Oh, it's a different Mario game. But yeah, this is the same attitude.
Oh yeah, Mario Kart there, yeah. Oh, that's some heavy damage in on Sabine there with a hull breach now.
Hull breach on 1 health isn't bad, but being on 1 health makes you a bigger target for everyone else to try and get those 2 points.
Yeah, and it looks like the only person that would actually have a chance for those 2 points. In fact, no, he's actually pretty safe because Whirlwind's arc is in the back, so he only has the bullseye, so he can't actually catch Sabine.
So that means next turn, a lot of people are maybe going to try and finish Sabine.
Yeah, Sabine might be a priority target there.
And is in fairly close to the middle of the board as well.
Oh, that's disappointing. Just 2 hits on Whirlwind, not enough to take Whirlwind. You've also got Whirlwind now there on 1 hull. So
health is already going down pretty quick.
It looks like Ben has already got a win opportunity here early doors.
Oh, I mean, it's a
Oh,
long shot, but you got to take it, I think.
Yeah, Quinn's got to take it.
So Sabine into Whirlwind, just needs to get 1 damage in.
Oh, and you can probably see around the edges of the board, everyone getting excited for the first kill of the game.
There's arms shaking around, people are leaning over.
Oh, that's not a great shot for first kill, though.
It's not.
And it's not first kill, unfortunately. That's another thing. Like I've said it already, how fun it was, but everyone got so invested in every single dice roll. Every
That's
single
great.
dice roll, everyone was like, oh, "Come on!" Like hits or evades. It was just absolutely insane. Everyone loved it. It was just. If you've not played Aces High and you've got a group of buddies at your local store, I highly recommend it. It's just the most fun you can have with 8 people around a table.
Yeah, I guess it's sort of like that thing when you go to like game night, you play some games of X-Wing, your game finishes early because you just got completely blown up, and you just sort of go and watch your friends finish their game, except you're also taking part in that game.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's that same sort of like chatting about what's happening and, oh, that was crazy sort of moments.
Yeah. It was just brilliant. And like I said, it's nice to see all these different ships. Some ships that you see quite often, so like the RZ2 A-Wing, the TIE Whisper now, we see a lot of that. But also to see the attack shuttle down there and Grievous.
Yeah.
You don't see them as often as you think. And that is the final bomb from Connor there.
Yeah, so Grievous is 50 points with the title.
Yeah, bang on 50 points with the title.
That's a healthy ship.
Yeah. I mean, he has 1 health less than the Y-Wing.
That's not bad going, is it?
And he's got a great ability as well. When you are not in the defender's attack arc, you can re-roll 2 dice.
Nice, yeah.
It's just brilliant. I mean, I actually flew a Separatist list the other day and was like, actually, I think I might give Grievous a try as well. I did tool him up with a few other bits that made him even ruder than that because I wasn't limited to 50 points, but it's a good ship and it's nimble as well.
I'm trying to think what pilot I would use, and I'm not sure. So, for anyone watching, in the comments, who would you bring to an Aces High? Like 50 points with whatever the current points are. Like, just put a build down there.
Yeah.
Would you use anything that's already on the board here? Would you adjust them at all? Or would you just go, you know what, I'm just going to take, I don't know, 1 lone TIE fighter, just basic, and just see what happens?
Yeah, drop it down in the comments below, guys. You never know. Maybe next time we fly an Aces High, we might use those builds.
I mean, I'm mostly asking because I need a build, because I want to try this.
And also, guys, there's a bit of a random one. If ever you are down in Bournemouth or Poole on a Wednesday evening and you want to come and fly at Entoyment, possibly be on the channel, just give us a shout. We're pretty much down there every Wednesday night, and it is a great atmosphere, great bunch of guys down there, and you'll have a wicked time. So if ever you wanted to come and join us, just come on down.
Now, despite only being on 1 health, I feel like Whirlwind has gone to a pretty good spot. Sabine, maybe. It kind of depends where that A-Wing is going.
Yeah, so it depends on where Ben's going.
That A-Wing is...
They're super fast, though.
Isn't it?
So Wedge is actually facing up. It's hard to see, but he's actually facing up the board.
Oh, he's facing the other way.
And then you've got
okay, Sabine's probably okay.
But then you've got Turfinator and ZZ. And I am...
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. So that's...
You would, wouldn't you?
I mean, he's on 1 point. I've kind of got to, haven't I?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, and I haven't got any points yet. I want points.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But I'm curious as to, did Midnight anticipate that bomb?
I mean, you've got to at least know it's coming, right?
I don't know. Sometimes there's so many ships on the board, you're just kind of trying to keep up with what's happening elsewhere. You might just get so distracted. But
I guess, but having seen them already drop 2 turns, I feel like that it would be something that you should at least keep an eye on.
Yeah. I mean, should is the optimal.
Although, I mean, you probably live.
Yeah.
You've lived the bomb, but then the A-Wing has just turned around, so...
I mean, one thing I will point out is obviously, again, when you're only flying 1 ship, you've got 7 other ships flying and shooting all around you, so it's easy to
Yeah, you go,
Like,
oh, I'm
get a
out
bit
of arc of
distracted.
them. I'm safe. And then there's 2 other ships on the other side of that rock. And you're like, oh, well, never mind.
Yeah. I mean, the rounds
Ooh.
averaged between 10 and 15 minutes a round, we were averaging.
Yeah. No, that's a really good move from Whirlwind.
Yeah, really, really solid there.
Lives
Not going to
another
get
round.
shot. It's almost a
And
shame that ZZ hasn't moved yet. Oh, that ZZ moving.
is that a K-turn?
No, that's the 5 forward.
Oh, but rotate the gun. Potentially.
No.
No. Oh, barrel roll to try and beat you to the Sabine kill.
He's actually trying to barrel roll to focus, which he does get pointed out in a moment. He can't do it in RZ2.
Yeah, they can only boost or rotate.
They can boost to focus. So, resetting that.
Goes back on the barrel roll. Instead just takes the focus. Because Zizzy wants the token. Right? Surely. No, going for the boost.
Going for the boost.
The focus boost.
Does that fit, though? Oh, it's so
I mean,
close.
they've got enough blues that I think you'd at least try it.
It fits.
Oh. And despite, like, the ships on the board, like, you go, oh, an A-wing and an attack shuttle, they're going to shoot the interceptor. Probably not.
Well...
Depends if Sabine's still there.
Have a look at ZZ's loadout a second.
Oh. I see where you're getting at now.
Basically, range 0.001 with prockets. I think I know what I would be doing.
Yeah, I guess if you've got the chance to use your prockets.
Ooh, and that's Midnight doing a sloop onto the bomb. Has pattern analyzer, but a barrel roll will not get him away. So just elective focus.
An interesting move.
Clearly forgot about the bomb.
Just forget about the bomb. Yeah. I mean, there is a lot going on.
So. Yeah, I mean, there is a huge amount going on in this, and to be honest, tracking how many charge tokens someone has left on something, especially considering like you're right opposite the board, and there's so many things, so many damage decks lying around the board as well. I mean, there's 8 damage decks on the table here as well.
Yeah, who's at the top right of the screen who brought the big damage deck for this?
Oh, so you've got that's
surely you go. There's 8 players. I'll bring the small one.
So Madbots, Wes, and Connor all brought large damage decks.
Don't get me wrong. I like the large damage deck. I use it a lot. But
I don't like it.
Really?
I prefer the smaller damage deck. Like the large damage deck is good as a reference, but I prefer the small damage deck.
I like it, so I only have to bring 1 deck box with me, so I can have my damage deck and my pilot and upgrade cards all in 1 box.
Fair enough. I do understand that. I mean, my damage deck lives in a small little plastic baggie when it's not in use, and it just sits in my case quite nicely.
So the bomb did go off.
So it caused a point of damage and a strain to Midnight.
Okay.
Midnight then took a shot at R2, elected not to use the target lock, which I think a little bit of a mistake. Oh, that's the prockets.
Ooh.
That's the prockets. That's 4 hits.
That is some kind of damage going through.
That's probably a dead Turfineer.
I mean, that's at least another point for Zizzy.
That's another point for Zizzy, and that's only 2 damage on Turfineer there.
The Tur lives. Oh, but now which one? Do you try and get revenge on Zizzy, or I think you gotta just ignore Zizzy and try and kill Sabine?
I mean,
the points, right?
Yeah, points are the main thing. It's not only that, if I can get rid of Sabine, then I'm not going to get shot.
There is also that, yes.
Because right now, I definitely don't want to get shot. But Ben is just racking up the points there.
So we got Wedge going into Midnight.
With the strain. So
with the strain as well.
Not a lot of evades there for Midnight.
I mean, I guess it's good that Midnight
hits.
Turned around, because then outmaneuver doesn't trigger either.
Yeah. Oh, but he gets it.
and
Despite
gets rid of
the
that strain.
despite the points that are on the board at the moment, the like both sets of dice, red and green, were very hot. Oh, that's not great. That's into.
I thought you said the dice were hot.
Yeah, but you know what it's like. You mentioned it that it turns.
Well, true.
So that was into Sabine. No kill there.
Oh, that is like you look at you go. I've got 4 red dice. They've got 2 green and I think no token.
No token. Had to spend the focus to live.
Yeah.
So try and see if I can boost away.
Oh. Yeah. I think
the bendy boost wouldn't have fit because that would slot too close. So even with that boost, it still keeps me in range 1 there. So that's not exactly helped
it's
me.
at least worth a try, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I couldn't barrel roll because I'd already barrel rolled into that position. So can Quinn do me over?
Steal the points from Zizzy.
Two hits. That's enough. And that's 2 evades.
Oh.
Interceptors doing what interceptors do.
Rely on the green dice.
Oh, interceptors really live on the edge, don't they? I mean, exactly on the edge right now. 1 hit point.
Yeah. So how many? We've got 3 ships on 1 health.
Yes. So Sabine, Whirlwind, and Turfnir on 1 health.
And 3 ships on 3 health.
And only 1 ship that has not yet taken damage, which is Wes in Grievous.
I mean, it's General Grievous, who's kind of famous for being a coward.
Yeah.
So you know what? That seems to fit.
He's not actually had many shots at him, so he's been quite fortunate there. This is where it starts to get.
Yeah, everyone's starting to go
tough.
right now. Everyone's a bit closer to each other in like little clumps,
but like easily dispersible clumps there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at it going, does Connor try and if would you concentrate on midnight if you were Connor, knowing that target lock means you can't change your dice, or would you?
Is that only if RCD2 is shooting at midnight, or is it just flat out cannot modify?
It's as long as the interaction is between midnight and RCD2.
Okay.
So
it's
if
not showing it down against anyone else.
Yeah, so if you shot a wedge, he could use his calculates all day long. But when he's shooting against midnight, he can't use them, which is a really good ability, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Yeah, especially in something like this where you go, oh, that R2 has a lot of stuff on it. I'm just going to shut down most of that and then fly into one of its bombs.
Yeah, I mean, that some would say that's not a good plan.
No, possibly not. But we'll see what happens. Whirlwind deciding to join the fight over there.
Very dangerous. Like going towards that wedge. Wedge is nasty. He hasn't done much this round.
I mean, on 1 health, it's risky going anywhere, really.
You almost want to just reset. And here is Sabine doing her free boost.
I'm a little disappointed that there isn't a scum ship, because I feel like having Dead Man Switch would just be hilarious in something like this.
Yeah, Dead Man Switch would be brilliant. And we have our first death. K turned off the table.
Well, so no one else gets points for that, though.
No one gets points, so that is utter points denial. Now, normally, if you were to flee the table, there'd be a whole crazy way of working out the points. You'd look at how many bounty tokens you had on the ship. If you have bounty tokens, they get taken away, and then any tokens you have by your ship card, you lose the same amount. But
because Quinn doesn't have any points and has no bounty tokens, none of that matters.
Exactly.
It's a weird thing. I feel like that shouldn't be an option to just deny a kill like that to fly off the board.
Well,
I know.
mean,
I don't think Quinn did it entirely on purpose. I'm
yeah.
not saying that. I'm just saying in the rules, maybe that should be adjusted. So what happens in terms of coming back to the table?
So, what will happen now once this round is done? Quinn will then roll a red dice, and it'll give either a blank, a focus, or a hit. Crits count as hits in this case.
Okay.
And then what you do is you pick one of these hyperspace markers, and you'll notice that they've got 3 points to them. You will then set your ship up on the corresponding point on whichever marker you choose, and you come back fully healthed. Like all charges back, all health back.
You get all your
no
charges
crits.
back as well.
Yeah, you got all your charges back. So if Connor really wanted to go around and concussion bomb everyone again, he could fly off the board.
Zizzy could get another proton rocket.
Zizzy could get another proton rocket, yeah. And
That's
at the moment,
interesting.
there wouldn't really be any negative because she doesn't have a bounty token yet because no one has actually killed another person.
At what point do you declare which one of those you're appearing at?
So
or do you like keep it secret until
you normally declare it
a certain point?
We did it before dials. Okay. So what we would do is we'd normally roll it.
So you go like number 3, and then you roll at that point.
So we'd
roll. Or you go number 3, and then when it would be your turn to activate, you then roll it.
No, so we'd roll it. Then they'd pick which one they wanted to go on. And
okay. So they already know at least which direction they'll be. Okay.
Yeah. And they just hope that they don't get blanks because there's only really one blank on there that's not too bad, which is number 3. Because if you get the blank on number 4 and you don't have a good turnaround, you're going off the board again.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. That's interesting.
Now, one thing that we didn't do quite right when we did do this is that it should be your back pegs that go into it. So you should be flying out of it. We didn't read that until a little bit later because there was a lot going on. And there were points where people set up with the front of their ship. So it should be coming, you should be going away from it. You shouldn't go over it.
At the end of the day, it's almost like just having the thing in a slightly different position.
Yeah. And
you're still starting roughly by the hyperspace marker.
And again, for us, we were just it was more about having fun. I mean, we hadn't actually played, the last time we'd actually had a chance to play Aces High was pretty much our last meetup before the first lockdown.
Right. Okay. So it'd been a while.
It had been a long time since we played it. And now that you can obviously have a few more people together and people were like coming back in regularly, I sort of given everyone a shout and said, should we give this a go again? Because I remember it being hilarious. And I think we're going to try and do it every other month now because it was just too much fun not to.
Do you think you'll try a different point limit or other variations?
So I am debating. We did jokingly say about large base, but I don't think that's a good one. We've done medium.
I feel there's too much health with the large ships.
So the points you can do, you can either do 50, 75, 100, or 125 points. Obviously, you can decide what ship base size and that. You could do a variation where you have small and medium base if you wanted to be absolutely crazy. I mean, watching Fenrau go up against Bobber would be hilarious. And I think I still put my money a little bit on Fenrau there. But yeah, I think we are going to look at another game, maybe 75 point small base ship, see what variations you can get in there. You'll get some of the other I6s come in.
There's definitely some fun stuff you can use in this.
Yeah. But so, we have a massive cluster in the middle right now. So looks like Rich is just debating who he wants to shoot. Who he wants to miss. So spending fanatical there.
3 defense times.
And that, I believe, is Jamie dead. That's the whirlwind gone. So some good points there for rich, and he gets his little bounty marker. So that little
Whirlwind
mark,
has been completely blown away. I took way too long to think of that. Sorry for the dead air.
sorry, keeping up the standard there.
Yeah, I'm trying.
So there we see the bounty marker next to Midnight. So now Midnight has painted a target on his back.
That's a good shot.
And
that's good defense, though.
A better set of evades from Turfanier. Taking another range 1 shot and somehow surviving.
Zizzy is after those points.
Yeah, Zizzy is not happy with me. And I'm hoping I'm not in Grievous's arc, because that would just not be good.
I think you might be.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with the shots.
Oh, in fact, I am. That's Wes shoot. I think that is Wes shooting range 1 at me. Well, that's 3.
I mean, he could...
2 evades. 3 evades.
Oh, wow.
That is incredible.
That's the green dice you need with an interceptor.
That is the green dice you need.
Wow.
Mad Boss is incredibly disappointed that Whisper is out, because now he can only just catch Grievous. But he could get those first points off of Grievous there.
I mean, it's about time someone did.
Just checking if it's within range 2.
Oh, that is close, isn't it?
I think we called it range 3 there, but that's Wedge without maneuver onto Grievous, so Grievous isn't getting any dice.
I mean, that is the wedge shot, really, isn't it?
That's what Wedge has been trying to pull off all game. And there's just
he gets 2 hits.
2 hits. First points off of Grievous, so Madbots is finally on the board for some points. And unfortunately, the only shot I have, I need to get a really good shot, but there's a focus token there.
Well, I mean, it's still a shot. You're not wasting around, and you survived, which is something on of itself.
I mean, very impressive. I mean, when you think that I've just taken a procket and 3 range 1 shots and I'm still there, I mean, that's perfect green dice.
Yeah, I mean, that pilot is just tough enough. That was a stretch. I'm sorry. Well, I'm not, because I said it. So
here's R2D2 sneaking in, see if he can get some more points on Rich, but he's still got that target lock on him, which is not great. Oh, but a hit crit like will do.
Ability doesn't matter. I mean, a crit onto Midnight would be pretty good.
Oh, but he's got that focus. It's also like rubbing salt in the wound. It's going, right, you can't spend your tokens, but I can. Oh, and there we go. So that's Whisper, Whirlwind in the Whisper back, and we now have Sabine back as well.
Interesting that they choose those starting positions. Obviously, we mentioned earlier that Sabine is technically the wrong way, but that doesn't matter. But I feel like I would have started over in like one of the corner ones to get a safer approach.
Yeah, I mean, with Whirlwind having that focus result there, I possibly would have been tempted to start at number 4 and then sweep up that right-hand side. Quinn just doing what Quinn does and going, I'll just go here, see what I can do, have fun. I believe also forgetting that he doesn't go first there as well, and that he would have ships in front of him, so might not be able to complete his move. But it is very much now all around that centre part of the board there.
Yeah, I mean, Sabine can still do her reposition, which might help.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff around. I'm kind of surprised there's not as many bombs, actually. Like the concussion bombs hit... hang on.
They just hit
They hit Midnight.
Yeah.
But, they had a good amount of area control.
So I think it's tricky because a lot of the ships that you can get bombs on, they're not always the best when they're running solo. So I think R2D2
True, yeah.
R2D2 has a massive advantage in being I2, being as cheap as it is and having all those upgrades, it really plays into R2D2 being quite handy. But whereas if I look at it, would I take a TIE bomber in this? I'm not entirely sure if I would. Some of the other Y-Wings, possibly, but I don't know. For me, I prefer to go fast and nimble if I'm doing something like this. But
Yeah, I mean, we've got a good variety of stuff on the table, which is good.
I mean, maybe best of both worlds and take a striker.
Yeah.
Super nimble with a bomb with a device
maybe.
slot on there. I'm also wondering whether I'm also partly thinking bombs are great, but mines could be even more interesting. Like dropping a proxy mine or a Connor net down would be hilarious.
You could just put mines all around one of those hyperspace tokens and just deny it.
Oh, wow. That would be incredible.
Actually, another thing that might be pretty good for this is seismic charges.
Yeah, I think seismic charges could be hilarious in this.
Now, if you've got a group of people around one obstacle and you blow it up, you could get, points off of everyone if it's early enough.
Yeah, that would be great. I'm not gonna lie, I like the thought of that a lot. I mean, I like seismic charges. I think they are really cool, and they're not too expensive either.
And they're just one guaranteed damage.
Yeah. No need to roll. I mean, that's one of the possible downsides of thermal detonators is that you're not always guaranteeing damage. You get to drop 2 of them, but there's no guarantee you're going to get that damage there. And in fact, many a time I've just got nothing or strains on people and be like, that was good, but I'd have preferred to get some damage.
You can drop 2 of them at a time and they're not terribly expensive.
They have got up to 5 points now. So they were, I believe they were 3
You can still
before.
drop 2.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. When it comes to bombs, thermal detonators are my go-to. Like I tend to take them all the time because again, it's hilarious just dropping 2. Like it's just so much fun.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got 4 bombers and you decide to drop 8.
I like Zizzy's move there to just head out of the fight but turn the gun around, just maybe pick someone off on low health.
That is just such a great thing for the RC2 to be able to do that.
Again, another thing good for these sort of games, having a turret, having a different arc, having multiple arcs.
Yeah. I mean, that's where the dorsal turret on the Y-Wing is going to come in really handy for R2-D2 there. Even with Whirlwind and ZZ, where they can only rotate it to front or back, Whirlwind has a slight advantage in that also has that bullseye in the front, even with the arc in the back. So right now, he does have a shot at either Grievous or potentially R2, if it's in bullseye.
Oh, that's close on the bullseye.
Very
but either
close.
way, yes, definitely has the shot out the back.
Oh, what's Midnight doing? No.
Look, oh dear.
No, Midnight. No. Don't come after me. You've seen
I feel like your little interceptor has been on the table long enough on 1 health.
No, you've seen my green dice.
I
They're
agree
really
with Rich
good.
with Midnight. Take him out.
Ah, you
Take the shot.
scum. Let's see. Oh, that's not...
No, not that shot. A better shot.
What
he
evade!
lived. Ah.
It's just the absolute insanity.
Wow.
And again, you can see everyone on the table. I don't know.
Which I guess was definitely the feeling around the table at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I wish that I had ships like that stayed alive through all of those odds. I mean, is it Turfanier in there or is it Han Solo? I don't know.
Yeah, he's just not going down.
No. I mean, Turfanier he's gone up in my estimations as he's now becoming a top tier
You get
pilot
those
for me.
games where you're like, this pilot, this guy is doing well, and then you
Yeah.
use them again, and it's like, what? Wait, what happened?
Like where was the guy from a week ago?
Oh, that's a decent shot. Was that Zizzy out the back?
Uh,
No.
yes, it was Zizi out the back.
Oh, into Whirlwind?
Yes, into Whirlwind.
And did a damage and got a point.
Did 2 damage in the end. That is cheeky. Against 4 evades as well.
Zizzy hasn't got a kill and is on 5 points.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I mean, that just goes to show, really, though, doesn't it? That the A-Wings, they don't really have the teeth. But in a game like this, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, as long as you can get that damage through when it counts.
Wow, Whirlwind is back down to 1 health. Whirlwind has been back for a turn and is getting eaten alive.
I'm back. I'm gone.
Yeah. New ship syndrome at its finest there.
Possibly. Does have the jam token to get that extra evade, but
it's only when it engages. And that's a straight damage onto Grievous there from Madbots because Wedge is rude.
that is. Oh, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Right, who are we up to next? Looks like
it's Sabine.
Sabine, who has bumped into R2, so no shot there.
But
is Sabine trying to finish? That'd be a hell of a shot. What's that? 2?
2 hits.
We got 4 evade dice.
Plenty of evades there.
Plenty of evade dice.
And just disrespectful spending the focus because I'm not going to need it or use it.
May as well tidy it up now.
Yeah. And looks like we've got Whirlwind getting that focus.
Going into
getting many focuses. Does it have?
Oh, it might just be in.
Oh.
No, now pointing towards Grievous. There's a lot of pointing.
I think at the moment he's there going, I have a 3-dice shot against
R2D2. There's a lot of pointing.
With a 3-dice shot, but he's got 3 calculates. Or I have a 3-dice shot at Grievous who has no mods.
Yeah, I think you got to go for Grievous, right?
Yeah, I think you kind of do. I mean, a really good roll there. 3 crit. Oh, 2 hits.
Even like your targeting priorities are so different in this.
Yeah, because everything is an enemy. But again, it's just what is going to give you the most benefit. Who would be easier to take out there, R2D2 or Grievous?
And in that case, it probably is Grievous.
That's a great shot. And there's the focus. Whirlwind lives.
For now, potentially.
For now. Yeah, I mean, it's... Normally you'd probably say, I'll go for the Y-Wing because it's going to have less evades, but it had 3 calculates there, so that makes it a tricky decision. And at this point, do you even want to try against Turfanier because he seems to be invincible?
I mean, I feel like his luck's got to run out at some point, and it's 2 points that, some people don't have points yet.
Yeah, if I fly off the board, do I get 2 points? No, we've already covered that.
We've been over this.
Yeah, despite me having survived all this, I still have 0 points. So my green dice are doing well for me, but my red dice aren't.
I do like that, though, in that you can't just be like, oh, I'm not dying, I'm going to win, because it's not a last man standing situation.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because if it was, I'd just be doing laps of the board. 5 forward, 5 forward.
I mean, potentially everyone would be, and then it would just be some weird race around the edge.
But Connor's got himself into an interesting position there, just parking himself right in the middle.
Yeah. I mean, which way is the turret pointing at the moment?
Looks like the turret is pointing to the rear.
Okay. So potentially into Whirlwind.
Yeah, if he doesn't get shot out of the sky, he could be trying to finish Whirlwind off.
It's been going for the
Even
barrel
though I
roll.
even though I know how maneuverable this attack shuttle is in Sabine's hand, it still seems wrong that it's so maneuverable at the same
It's a
time.
really good ship.
Yeah.
The only problem is I never know like what to fly alongside, because a lot of the abilities are like good in a bubble, but in a squad of rebels who are often like, "Oh, I'll pass you a token. We'll share target locks and things." They don't have any of that.
Yeah, it doesn't fit with their. So it's almost like you kind of have him. You kind of have the attack shuttle attached to the ghost because it gives you a rear
and then he
arc.
comes out at the end and goes, "I might be able to pull this back," and I've probably died.
We've seen that attempted previously.
I think I've attempted it on the channel at one point.
Yeah, you attempted it against me, but my Oiken and 4 TIE fighters was just.
Yeah, the ghost hadn't done enough to clean up at that point.
Yeah, we played the bump game, and Oiken is definitely better at it.
Yes. You done a good job here of getting out of the Y-Wings arc at least.
Yeah. So at the moment...
Question is Midnight going to close in and try and finish the job?
Yeah, is Midnight going to hunt me or...
Go for someone else?
I feel
like you go for the kill, right?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I'd be looking at it going, Tur's on 1 health, I'm going to go for him. Although there's a lot happening in the middle there as well. It's interesting as well where, like, earlier in the game, we had like little clusters of action, and now it's sort of just
it's everyone's a bit more involved in the same engagement now.
Yeah.
Or at least there's sort of a dot to dot where you can at least link everyone in some way, whereas previously they were like, oh, this is a fight, this is a fight, this is a fight.
Yeah, and what makes that really, really tense as well is that you're what. It was a slight nudge there from Wes, but
maybe. As long as the players are happy with it, and they're having fun, it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, it gets really tense where you're there going, "Oh, I just want to get that one hit. If I get that one hit and I get a point, and then someone steals it, you're like, no, I wanted that one."
Oh, it's like playing an online shooter. You stole my kill.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I will point out as well, everyone's flying. Obviously, there have been a couple of bumps, but no one has gone over an obstacle at this point.
Yeah, not even R2 with the new belly run thing.
Yeah, Connor did say he added that because he had a point spare.
Fair enough.
And then flew away from the asteroids.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, it's a point. If you end up having to use it, it's good. I wouldn't plan a list around using it, sort of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I would have definitely looked at something else like Deadeye Shot, Marksmanship, those sorts of 1 point cards. But then again,
maybe, but there's already a lot of stuff on these.
Yeah.
On R2. Oh, Midnight is choosing to spare Turfin's life for now.
Interesting. Very interesting. Is that going to be the right option as he's now in a kill box of 4 ships? With R2-D2 at range 1, Grievous potentially range 1, the attack shuttle, and ZZ.
Is Whirlwind out the back also triggering it?
Oh,
that might just clip him.
Might just clip him, but it'll be interesting to see if Whirlwind is still there by that point.
That is a good point.
Or if Midnight's still there, should I say?
So this is presumably Midnight into Grievous.
So yeah, another damage in on Grievous.
Okay. Getting a little low. Hanging in there.
Oh,
ZZ
does have a shot.
Would need some decent crits to...
Would need 2 crits.
Yeah.
I was getting excited there that I remembered A-Wings don't have many teeth, but still got a hit. Is it enough to weaken?
Okay. So,
no.
could do something.
Oh, does he spend the focus? I think you have to, really. Yeah. So next it will be Wes to return the He's returned the favour there.
Yeah, I think you go for midnight, especially with the bounty token on it. Oh,
Yeah.
and that's pretty good. Spends it, gets aggressive.
Yeah. 3 hits and a crit. Night.
Yeah. Night, midnight.
That is brutal.
So Grievous now gains the bounty token on the ship, or no, one goes on the card, but for getting a kill, a point goes on the ship.
He gets the bounty token that goes to the player, and then Grievous gets his own bounty token on the ship.
Right. So now that 2 health Grievous is a bit more of a target.
Yeah. And what is obviously surprising at this point is that's still only the second ship to go down from shooting.
Also, I've just realized you said that you play until someone gets 6 points, right?
Yes.
Zizzy's almost there.
Yeah.
And has been for a while. I've only just realized this.
Zizzy's been close for a while. It just hasn't been
Zizzy
able to
could win without killing anyone.
Yeah.
And that seems weird.
So this is where it gets interesting. You could get, that was a crit on Grievous and it was a weapons failure. That was close there from Wedge.
Failure.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that Wes prefers that to direct hit.
Well, yeah, but weapons failure is always an annoying one to get.
Yeah. Turfanier has, you could either take, do you go for the full kill? Go for kills.
You go for the kill. I mean, currently you're on 0 points. You need the kill.
No, I'm pretty
spend
sure
the focus for 1.
I'm pretty sure it's still going to be on 0 points. That's just, it's fine. We're having fun. That's 1 of 8.
I mean, he had the focus token as well, but yeah. You see all the banks and you just see that one bit of pain. You're like, okay.
But yeah, I mean, it is. You can go around and just get that first point on everyone and get 6 points, but then you have someone that gets that 1 kill and has the bounty on their ship and just goes, actually, I've got a bounty, so there's my extra point, and steals it from you. So it is an interesting mechanic to try and figure out, but I'm not gonna lie, it's just too much fun not to try.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm wondering if you could bomb like everyone in 1 round, you could just win with 1 bomb.
Oh my god, that would be insane. That would be like the best side. It would have to be like a seismic charge.
Better than doing it with a bomb would be doing it with
Deadman Switch.
Deadman Switch. Like if everyone's in a clump, fly in, somehow kill yourself, and just deal damage. That's a good shot.
That's 1 calculate. It's kept R2D2 on the board there.
That little the droids. No.
The droids that can.
There's 3 pairs there as well.
Yep. And then it's a range 2 shot into Grievous from Whirlwind.
Oh, come on, Whirlwind.
That's pretty good.
Like Whirlwind deserves a kill.
And
does that
reroll? Gets it with the reroll. And
with everyone being on such low health already, it's very tense when the dice get rolled.
It absolutely is. You're just everyone's eyes are laser focused.
Artie has a choice of which one to try and kill. It looks like potentially Grievous because the tokens. I mean, there's no tokens, and there's the bounty token as well.
No tokens and the bounty.
Yeah, it's into Grievous. Spend the calculate.
Spend the calculate. That's 2 hits and a crit. That's a dead Grievous.
And that is 2 points more for Connor. Or is that first points for Connor?
No, that'll be 2 more points for Connor. 1 on the board. 3 more points. Sorry, he got the bounty from Wes.
Oh, true.
So this actually puts
this is
Connor
close.
and Ben both on 5 points. If Connor gets 1 point off someone or kills someone, he will steal this out from under Ben, who has been slowly accumulating points because Ben hasn't actually taken anyone off the board yet.
But with Midnight just coming back onto the board, presumably both Zizzy and R2 are going for it to try and get that first bit of damage.
Or does ZZ take out R2, who has 1 point of damage and the bounty token?
There's so many options. What's going to happen?
I mean, if ZZ manages that
will your Interceptor live the entire game?
One can hope. I mean, so far, there's 3 ships on the board that have gone the distance so far. Well, 4 ships. R2-D2, the 2 A-Wings, and Turfanera, the only ones that have stuck around since the beginning. So I'm going to give myself an honorary point for making it to the last 4 still alive from the beginning.
I do appreciate your use of the Mudhorn skull as the death markers.
I was trying to find something cool that fit.
Yeah, no, I like it.
To be honest, it worked. I liked it. I now have it saved on my computer, ready for the next time we do Aces High like this.
Oh, is that?
Oh, that's a bump. Did it go over the? I think that's the first rock, and there's points denial there from Quinn.
Oh, because
he took the first damage. Yeah.
I feel like you then just go whoever takes the next damage, though.
No, it is the first damage. So there were obviously a lot of questions being banded back and forwards. Obviously, electronic baffles. If you were to tractor beam someone onto a rock, and does
that count? I feel like that would count.
So the ruling I went with was if an action you did caused that ship to lose a damage, excluding ioning them onto a rock, you would actually get that. So if you tractor someone onto a rock, fair. You get it.
That's a sensible ruling.
Yeah. It was the cleanest way of doing it.
Oh, look at that barrel roll.
Oh, that's a great barrel, but Grievous hasn't moved yet.
Well, yeah, but Grievous won't have a shot on you, right? You'll be fine.
Yeah, it should be fine. Grievous is going to bump into me.
Wedge is over there now.
That's a wedge without maneuver. Oh, no, because I'm in the arc, so it should be okay-ish.
Yeah, but you need those green dice.
I need those green dice. I've been saving
you this whole time. You're going to have one less.
I mean, I might need to frame those green dice.
Why would you frame them? You need to keep using them.
Oh, but I don't want to. If I rub the midichlorians off them, maybe it won't work.
That's not how the Force works.
Oh, what's that?
Ooh, what is that? Oh no, is that a sloop?
Oh, I don't like it.
Is it a sloop?
Oh, Turfanid does not like it.
He might finally go down.
So we now have.
We've seen him live this stuff before, though. He's used to it.
But the thing is, that's Wes and Madbots both looking at a ship each that has one hull and just going, who do they go for? Oh, I think we see what Ben's going for.
Going for R2.
Ben is going for full aggression.
I mean...
And Midnight's just going for a lazy
one bit of damage through.
I mean, range 1 from an RZ2 into a Y-Wing, I would say that is... Saying that, we've seen some interesting dice rolls. I wouldn't bet on it, but I also wouldn't bet against it at the same time.
I wonder how weird things would get if you would allow like teammate abilities to work on other players.
Oh. What, so if you happen to have 2 rebel ships and they interact with each other?
I was just thinking, like, is there any way someone could pass R2 an evade token or something? It's like, no, there's no support ships. But it's like, if I give you like this focus from my Jake Farrell, for example, maybe you don't shoot me next round. Like, you start making deals with other players and R2's gone. Zizzy has got 8 points.
And a bounty token.
Wow.
I mean, you could always try and set up alliances.
Oh, wow.
I mean, round of applause to R2. He's just been causing pain all over the board.
Very nearly won.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When Colin was like, "Oh, I've got R2," I was like, "I'm not sure about that, mate." And now I'm looking at it going, "I'm quite sure about that. That's a good shout."
So it looks like you're still finishing up the round.
Yes, so we will finish the round because obviously there are points there to be got. It probably won't have much effect on the overall outcome with the winner, but again, you don't want to stop it halfway through.
Oh no, definitely not. Let everyone get their shots
let
in.
everyone have fun.
And the numbers that you've got on the overlay do include the bounty tokens on the cards?
Do not include bounty tokens at this point. So the bounty tokens get counted up at the very end because you never know. Quinn might somehow one-shot ZZ, which would be hilarious.
It could happen.
But at the moment, we have essentially death row for those interceptors up there. And Wes saying that he should shoot. Well, actually, Wes wasn't sure who to shoot, so we had to roll off for it.
Oh, Wes he did a 50-50 on who to shoot. Okay.
Wes
who's he going for?
Has shot at me.
Right.
And that's the... So that focus was actually a hit. So
it does go down.
That's at the last turf and it goes down.
Only that one bit of damage got through to finish the job.
Yeah. I mean, it was so funny. Everyone was there like, I want to take him out, but I also want him to live. I want to take him out, but I want him to live. Everyone was in two minds about that. But because we're at the I4 step, stays on, so I get a chance. So Madbots is now shooting at the Whirlwind with the homing missiles.
Oh, okay. And homing missiles are the ones where you can go, I'll just take A damage, right?
Yeah, so your opponent can say, I'll take a damage, but
Which
James was
in
like...
this, you're on 1 health, you can't
James
do that.
I've got 1 damage. You can roll the dice, mate. And it didn't do anything because Wedge... Rude. Just took out Whirlwinds. That's 2 deaths for Jamie there. And
I mean, that's pretty good. Spend
2 hits and a crit. Come on.
You could kill Wedge and get some points here.
Not quite. It's a shame.
It's a shield.
But so much fun. So much fun.
Is that everyone?
Sabine to shoot. So Sabine to steal the win.
Probably not.
But you never know.
Maybe at least kill
there is
Zizzy.
If only he had a focus.
Oh.
So just 1 damage.
And there's an evade token on Zizzy anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad that Zizzy did win with a kill.
Yeah.
And didn't purely... I mean, it's still entertaining to be like, I won without actually killing anyone.
Absolutely. I mean, that was just so much fun. And so I think people sort of forgot about ZZ there. But yeah, Ben ended up on 9 points with the win. Grievous
Grievous
still
6. Technically got winning points.
Yeah. And then R2D2 with 5. Madbots and Wedge with 4. Then Rich got 2. Jamie with the 1 point. And then me and Quinn tied in last place. Although I still hold that he flew off the board. So that probably counts worse, right?
Yeah, I mean, you stayed on.
Great game there. Absolutely so much fun. And if you haven't played Aces High, I highly recommend it to everyone.
Going to try and get a game of this in locally. This looks a ton of fun.
Yeah, definitely. Well worth doing it.
Thanks for having me on for this. It was great.
No worries, James. I'm glad you were able to join me. I hope you enjoyed that. So, again, I just want to say thanks for coming on and commentating it and enjoying it. Right, well, guys, that was a great game there. I hope you all enjoyed it. Again, as always, don't forget, if you want to support the channel, click the Patreon link below, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time.